All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. All right, so we're going to do a market update, go over the market, look at crypto, look at stocks, look at financial news, and then we'll play a few games of chess. But before I do that, let me check my mic to make sure my mic is working. Let me check my mic. Give me just a sec. We're on episode 101. And like I said, I do believe I'm going to still continue to do the live streams next year. I said I said I wasn't going to do it, but I'll probably limit it to one day out of the week, or maybe two, or maybe I do to three. Who knows? Because I do want to put out long form content, so that's going to take some time. I'm really probably not going to do much editing with that, but we'll see. I said I wasn't going to do it, but I'll probably limit it to one day out of the week, or maybe two, or maybe I do to three. Who knows? Because I do want to put out long form content, so that's going to take some time. I'm really probably not going to do much editing. All right. With that. Looks like my mic is working pretty good. Okay. Okay, so let's go over the market and let's see what happened today. So, quick snapshot. So, it looks like the SPY is up. Basically, the S&P 500 is up 0.44%. Bitcoin is down 1.88%, 110,900. And it looks like the rest of the crypto market is the rest of the crypto market is slightly down too. Again, we're kind of rebounding from last week. If you guys remember, we did get that flash crash on Friday, and it basically made the whole market fall pretty sharply. And we bounced back, but now we're getting a slight sell-off. But again, we're in the middle of October, so I think things are going to start bouncing here pretty soon. We are looking to get this rate cut at the end of the month. Most likely, it's going to be 25 basis points, and that's just going to fuel the market. Also, we'll probably get into this, but so the Fed, Jerome Powell, he spoke. I think it was yesterday he spoke. And he said they're going to slow down or pause quantitative tightening, right, and move to quantitative easing. And so they will be injecting liquidity into the market opposed to selling and shrinking their balance sheet. So this is very bullish for things like crypto, stocks. Market is going to get a big injection of liquidity. We're also getting lower interest rates. So this is really positive for the market, positive for investors, and yes, that was some good information that came out yesterday. Okay, so it says the U.S. stock market S&P rose, boosted by strong earnings from major banks like Morgan Stanley and Bank of America, which beat expectations partly due to gains in deal making and trading. Chip/tech stocks also helped lead gains after positive results from ASML. And ASML is the company that helps with, I believe they do some manufacturing for chip making. They like the machines that go into that. That's basically what they produce. Very high price stock. But I think it's probably, I don't think AI is going anywhere anytime soon. Chips are going to always be needed. So I think that company is going to be here for a while. It says broader sentiment is constructive as investors are leaning towards expectations that the Fed might cut rates someday, and taking Powell's comment leaving the door open as dovish. On the flip side, trade tensions with China continue to roil markets and inject volatility. So it looks like we haven't gotten a deal with China yet, but I think most likely we will end up getting a deal here pretty soon. And it'll probably be close to the time where they decide to cut interest rates, which I believe the meeting is the 28th and the 29th. So they will be cutting interest rates here soon. And I think probably in that week or the week before, we're going to hear something from the administration that they reached a deal with China or something like that. And I think we're going to see an explosive end of October. Altcoins have been bleeding out a lot, especially if you're a crypto investor and you're in altcoins. We've been bleeding out for the last 2 to 3 years. So I think we're going to see a flip here. Bitcoin dominance is still around 59 something percent. I haven't checked it in the last hour, so maybe it's changed. Let me just take a look. Also, Bitcoin dominance is going up sharply. So we could see here a spike in Bitcoin. A lot of people are predicting it's going to shoot up to 140, 150. But also, I think we are going to see Ethereum's looking pretty bullish here as well. So we may see a price spike in Ethereum breaking its all-time highs, going to 5,000, probably a little bit over that. And it's also going to carry the altcoins as well. So more to come on that, but it looks like Bitcoin dominance is shooting up. So we just have to wait and see, right? Okay. So we went over crypto. So it says key financial and macro themes, oil and commodities. Oil prices are down amid signals of oversupply and demand concerns. Policy and central bank cues. Powell has signaled that the Fed is open to rate cuts down the road, which we already know, and that the era of balance sheet shrinkage QT may be nearing a pause. So this is what I mentioned earlier. Um, and again, when they do this buying and selling, the selling was basically canceling out because again the Fed is basically printing fake money. It's just really digital. When they sell and they receive, it just goes on. They're selling treasuries and receiving money. It goes onto their balance sheet. But when they're buying treasuries and they're giving out money, they're really just crediting the bank account, like major banks like JP Morgan, Citi. They're just crediting their account with no money, right? Like if you go to your bank and let's just say you had $0, in order to make it $100, you would need to have $100 bill or maybe some type of check or some type of money order, and essentially back that $100 credit that's going to your account. When the Fed buys and gives money to receive treasury, they're just going on their computer and crediting the banks, right? Now the banks it's not like they're taking that money out. They're basically expanding their liquidity and they can only use it for lending to consumers, right? It's very important to note. Banking and finance sector, big banks' strong results are helping buoy sentiment. Also, strategic moves in crypto banking infrastructure are worth keeping an eye on. A lot of banks are getting into crypto. I mean, we see BlackRock, we see Fidelity buying every week. Mostly BlackRock is consistent with their buying. And yeah, I think it's really bullish for crypto. Everything is lining up. We're getting quantitative easing, low interest rates, mass adoption, and retail's coming in to spice things up. Okay, so trade and geopolitical, again, the U.S. and China stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much an update of the market. I think we'll see more here in the next coming weeks when we get closer to that interest rate cut, and hopefully China and the U.S. come to some type of deal, because that's going to be positive for the market. And then also we get that official announcement that quantitative tightening has paused and we move to quantitative easing, right? So I think this can all happen pretty quickly. So to get this parabolic move that a lot of people have been waiting for, I think that there's not going to be, again, for altcoins, I think there's going to be select altcoins that move up. I don't think it's going to be like every year where, honestly, when everything is moving up, when it's altcoin season officially, everything will move up. But I think it's really going to be the projects that bring utility and provide a service, right? So you need to be really careful with the projects you pick, because I don't think everything is going to go crazy like people are expecting. King Shuck. First, I'm not sure what you're saying, but welcome to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in. Okay, so let's play some chess. I'll probably do 2 to 3 games because I have to log off. I have somewhere to be. And yeah, let's start this. Let's get this done. Maybe just 2 games. So this one and the next one. Here, break the center. Yep. Over. Appreciate it. Yeah, that was pretty quick. All right, last game. Last game. Do one more. Hopefully, this person puts up more of a challenge here. Looks like he will. Kingshu, you are spamming the chat, so you need to stop. If you have a question, just ask the question. If not, enjoy the stream. Oops. Let's. Okay. You will be banned. So we just banned Kingchuk because he didn't listen. So now he's banned. See how that works? Darn it. Should be fine. Boom. He didn't see that. Let's see what he's trying to do. Um, 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 um. We do that. I think that would be good. How do you use that? And you got that there. Boom. I don't know if that was a smart thing to do. Darn it. Yeah. I didn't play good here. Did not play good for that one. All right, let's do one more. Because that one I didn't play good. All right, last one. Last one. You know what? I'm going to push. Don't care. Gotta push. Gotta push. All right, I'm going to ban Kushi again. Gotta ban these people, man. I wonder if he saw that. Darn it. It's a fool. Darn it. Darn it. Let's checkmate. Yeah. All right. That was the last game. He won. I'm gonna resign. But yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on with the market. Bitcoin's at 110. We have some positive catalysts coming up. Most likely rate cut 28th, 29th. Quantitative tightening is looks like it's going to end, and we're going to be moving into quantitative easing. So very positive for the market. More liquidity will enter the market. It's good for risk on assets. So should be very fun to see what the end of October brings and how's it going to look like in November and December. But that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.